Epic Gaming Night is sponsored by Tasty Minstrel Games. Make sure to check out the Tasty Minstrel podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. This podcast is made possible by the support of patrons like you. Thanks for your support. Welcome to the Epic Gaming Night podcast, a podcast about the stories and relationships board games create. I'm your host, Roy Caney, and with me as always is Matt.
Hello.
Always there.
Always there.
As we like to call him, DP, Dependable Matt.
Is that a joke? He's been here for the last few episodes, Rob. Goodness. And Rob's here, too.
To be fair, I do dip quite often.
I love it. It's Roy. It's how you introduce it.
Oh, with this is always? Yeah.
Like, hey man, he is always there. And it's not that like he's not here because it's like ads didn't feel it. Like it's legit excuses like work or like a family situation or something. But it's just like always there. Like if he was a commercial, you could depend on Matt.
Matt's always there in my heart. I just want you to know. I'm always thinking about Matt all the time. All the time, Matt.
All the time.
Every single second.
Appreciate it.
I sense a little bit of sarcasm there.
Just a little weird.
Just a little weird. I was trying to take it to the next level.
Good.
Awesome, guys. Well, we're here to hang out and do a podcast. Yeah.
Hey.
But I got a couple of things on the news that I want to talk about. There's some cool Kickstarters that are going on right now. One of them is, have you seen Dragon Boats? The Dragon Boats of 4 Seasons. It's a pretty cool looking game, but it's one of the first games from Maple Games, which I know Daryl Andrews is working with and several other people. But the art is done by Peter Woken, and then it's got these cool little boats that you put stuff in. It looks like a very Euro game, but Daryl Andrews is a friend of the show, so I know he was like super stoked about this game. He said, "This is like
not Jonathan Gilmour."
Yeah, not Jonathan Gilmour. For anybody who knows that story, that's awesome.
You know what's funny? I, in my brain, thought of Jonathan Gilmour because of that story.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what Daryl Andrews looks like.
It looks like Jonathan Gilmour.
Okay.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
They're both Caucasian. They both have facial hair.
They're both from up north. I think Daryl Andrews is just further north. I think
Daryl Andrews, he doesn't wear glasses. Or he does wear glasses. Jonathan doesn't, right?
I think they might both. I need to get a side-to-side picture comparison of both. Right. It's funny because I saw Daryl...
beard, glasses, and I want to say heavy set. Not like, oh man, like, bro, like, you need to go see a doctor, but like... Oh, you eat Hot Pockets. Like that kind of heavy set.
I hope nobody's listening to the show right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you look at me, and you can tell I eat multiple Hot Pockets. Like, I'm...
A day.
Hey, they're delicious.
Hey, man. Cold on the inside, lava on the outside.
Huh.
Yeah.
So what game were you talking about?
Dragon Boats is his new game, or their new game, that's coming out. It's currently on Kickstarter. It looks pretty cool because it's got like little boats and stuff like that. I like the artwork and stuff for it, but it looks like where am I at? I was trying to get my my Board Game Geek page to go back so I could actually look at the game. But hey, it's not liking to let me do that. It wants me to just look at these specific pictures over and over again.
There you go, man.
There you go. Hey, I get to look at pictures of the game, not what the mechanics are. But yeah, Dragon Boats of 4 Seasons looks slightly interesting. I just like that it has little cardboard boats that you put your people in. You know, that's always fun. Your meeple people.
Hey, I tell you what had some cool boats, man. Was that game that we played at Recon?
The Viking one.
Bought it. Raids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was the one where that had the boats that would like expand and you'd put different things on them and stuff like that. They didn't expand it. It just you had different slots.
I think they just went on sale on Cool Stuff in their weekly sale. Maybe. I don't remember. I know the new detective game is on sale there.
I want to try that.
Yeah, I'd like to try that too. Didn't Trevor say he was gonna let you borrow that?
He did, but man, he's been busy
trying to get married and stuff.
Yeah, he's getting married soon. Ashley, to answer your question, we won't answer that question actually until your husband finishes painting those minis. So, has your husband finished painting those minis yet?
No, we're playing the 13th.
Yes.
And side note, your Dracula costume thing, kind of cool. Kind of cool. Ashley's a board game girl on Instagram. She's kind of a big deal.
I mean, she has a couple followers.
Listen, that's how great we are. If we can get people like Ashley, we're doing something. Right?
She's like, no, I was really bored at work. Really bored.
Right? Is that what it is?
They blocked all the other YouTube channels except for Epic Gaming Night because like the big channels, the big channels they know about, but they don't know about Epic Gaming Night, so you can watch that one.
Right? Like, who knows this? Right? Okay, I like that. That makes sense.
I'm just kidding.
That makes sense.
I was actually showing a guy.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing.
A guy at work was asking me about the YouTube videos he did because he was showing me some friend he has who does like rap music, and he's like, man, he doesn't have very many views. I'm like, check out how many views I have on my stuff. So I was showing him like the podcast and the Favorite Game Friday stuff and things like that, and he's like, oh man, that's crazy, but good times. You know,
man.
Good.
Nick and I. Have any of you guys seen that show, The Maniac?
No, what's that?
On Netflix.
Was that the one with
yes, Jonah Hill and Emma Stone?
Yeah.
Bro.
How is it?
It's crazy. Like, I need to see it again because it's trippy, man. It is trippy.
What's the main premise or plot of it? Maniacs?
Okay, the main premise, without giving away too much, it follows. It's in the future where you can do odd jobs, right? Like, odd jobs are out of the wazoo and you'll get paid for it, right? And so these two people sign up for these odd jobs where they're going to do a medical study on people that might be a little crazy. And they're both tight on cash, so they both go to do this study. And so the study goes kind of crazy. It's this ultimate supercomputer that basically goes. It's not modern day, Nick. It says it's modern day, but it's not modern day. It says like, yeah, it's like the current time frame, but it's not. Right? It's like Earth 4, right? If we're in the Flash universe, this is like Earth 4. But anyway, so I won't give away too much more. But anyway, there's two people in medical study, and the supercomputer goes in their brain, and it's trying to fix them. It's got a wonderful cast, and it's trippy too, man. Like, in their head, they go through all these different experiences where they're actually elves at one time, going through a countryside. They're mafia gangsters. They're like it's a bunch of stuff. But anyway, it was just trippy. I need to watch it again. And there's a scene that Nick and I are talking about at the very end with the bench at the end, like the very last episode. And I'm like, what? Is that what they were talking about? Type of a thing. It's like one of those shows you need your friends to watch it.
Yeah.
So you can like ask, all right, am I just making this up? Right? Like, I definitely would like at least one of you guys to watch it because I have questions. I need to watch it again.
You need us to watch it so we can explain it to you. Or just have somebody else to talk to about.
I don't know, man. It's just
what do you
first
think
of all, I wanted to
here?
watch it because it's Netflix and it had Jonah Hill and Emma Stone, and I love the idea that these digital properties are now getting like big actors like more and more frequently.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I love that, and how also these different awards are picking them. Right? Like, Emmys are like Netflix stuff is actually winning Emmys. Like, things are
Oh
happening.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, and it's like movies are going straight to these big movies are going straight to Netflix, and they're like,
or they'll release in the theater and Netflix at the same time for like a limited time.
How does it even work for the theaters though? Like, if you can watch it on Netflix, why would you go to the theater?
I'd still go to the theater just because I like that experience. But yeah, they are probably not it's probably like a limited theater release where it's not like nationwide on like 3,000 plus cinemas.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, it's just crazy, and I was just interested to see like their thing. Watch the Netflix trailer for it.
Nice.
But here's another Netflix show that children should not watch, and I will not get into this show. I mean, talking about the show. Spoiler warning. If you are a child, if you are 17 and younger, you are a child, right? Do not watch it. Cover your ears. For everybody else, Ozark. Bro. I don't know if anybody watches Ozark, but I do not want to get involved with drugs or the drug cartel. Don't do drugs.
Good life lesson.
And don't laundry money.
Nice. Is it as bad as Breaking Bad was?
It's the new Breaking Bad,
basically,
and that's the problem because it's good. Like it's.
Does it have the same thing as Breaking Bad, where you just don't like anybody in the show?
Not necessarily. I won't get too much into it. There are some parts that I had fast forward and some other like adult themes, but that the show's not like adult themed to just be like adult themed. Like there's just anyway.
Nice.
So board games we're talking about.
So the other Kickstarter I wanted to bring up in the news is Mezzo or whatever. Mezzo, Mezo, is have you guys seen this one? This is the new one from Colossal Games. It looks pretty crazy. So this game is kind of interesting because it's an area control game where you're trying to control areas where you have simultaneous action selection and variable player powers, but it's got that whole like creature mythology thing going on with like, I guess it's like Aztecish type stuff.
Yes, it's all like Indian, Central America, South America, like Indian folklore type of a thing.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same people that did Western Legends.
Right. Yeah.
Colossal Games. It's
kind of crazy because this is the kind of thing that we're like, would this sort of theme be the next thing in the Blood Rage trilogy? But these guys like jumped on it like, this is our game. We're doing this thing. So it's kind of like, oh, interesting. So,
man,
I wonder how it plays. I've heard good things about it, and the miniatures look pretty crazy.
And did you see the picture of the miniature of the Rising Sun Dragon compared to like their big dragon creature thing?
No, I didn't see.
Their dragon's bigger.
That's awesome.
And they were talking about like if they went head to head, who would win, type of a thing. I will say this: I don't know much more about the game other than area control and the mythology behind it. But the company, Colossal Games, their Kickstarter, the way that they did Western Legends was so amazing. Like as a consumer, I was very appreciative. They did regular updates. The product came out on time. Like everything just ran smoothly. And I've got a couple of Kickstarters with this other particular company who are, in my opinion, they're doing a terrible job.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate that about Colossal. When, like, okay, they stick to their word. And if something comes up, they let you know. I mean, I think our total delay was like a couple weeks. And that's nothing for Kickstarter.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's crazy, though, when you give someone like $100+ and then you don't hear from them for like a year. It's like, wait a minute.
Or when 1,000+ people.
Yeah.
It's like, you can at least say a little bit, like at least make a little bit of effort towards letting us know what stage of the process is going on. And because, maybe some people don't want to hear as much about it because they'll be like anticipating it every second of the way. But I don't know, for me personally, like, I wish I could know more. Like, okay, hey guys, like we got the injection molds done. We're like making all these miniatures, and I've seen several companies do that sort of thing. But then also like, hey guys, they're like, we finally got these printing done, or even like when they're like, oh, we got our first production copy of it. Here's what it looks like, that sort of thing. But I feel like a lot of times some people are just like crickets. I'm just like, oh man, where's all the info at? But I don't back as many Kickstarters as other people do. Other people are probably like, I'm getting flooded with all these updates for Kickstarter stuff all the time. But I don't know. I don't think there can be too much information that they can share to you, you know? And if you don't want to hear it, you could turn off notifications on it or something. I don't know.
Oh, I need to do that then on everything.
Turn it off?
Are you getting like bombarded by?
I get so many Kickstarters that like are done and then deliver the product, and they're just still sending me like weekly updates about their new business, and I'm like, guys,
Yeah.
I just wanted some hot sauce, but thank you. I do appreciate it, and I know where your website is in case I want more. Whatever.
Yeah. Cody's one of the ones that's definitely super good about updating Kickstarter backers and stuff. He was one of the first people I saw that gave out like the Zaya expansion. He gave out the ships with like the tracking on the ships on where the ships currently were. I'm like, what? That's awesome. So you can like literally be like, okay, well, my game is literally in the middle of the ocean right now. That's really cool. Or hey, my game just like landed in California. Great. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I personally feel like if companies did more of that stuff, I mean, I've seen some companies do more than others, and I mean, a little bit is cool, like, but you know, lots of updates would be fun. What do you think, Rob? You back way more than I do.
There's the Joan of Arc people. What is the name of their company? Man, I can't remember. I'm going to look it up real quick. But the Joan of Arc people, one thing I like about them, they have, like, Update Wednesday. Like, that's what Time of Legends, Joan of Arc, is done by Mythic Games. And, like, every Wednesday, I get an email, and it's like, hey, guys, here's what's going on. Here's what's happening. And if they miss a day, they'll, like, send it out on Thursday. And they like apologize way too much. Like it's a big deal if they miss. And sometimes it's just a rule book. Sometimes it's, hey, here's where we're at in the process. Here's where everything's going on. And it's like, okay, man, like I'm really appreciative of this. It's just once a week. It keeps me going. And to be honest, it also makes like that layover time, you know, while you're waiting for this great game, not to feel so bad.
And you feel like it's probably actually coming instead of just being like, wait a minute, the Kickstarter ended, I did the Pledge Manager, but I haven't heard anything from them since I did the Pledge Manager. And that was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if the game's still coming. I mean, I guess it's supposed to take another like 4 months, 3 months or something, but what? Where's it at? You know? What's going on? But yeah, that's definitely super cool. When companies
I want to know how Kent Parker and his family had time to play Western Legends when they literally just had a baby, like, not maybe a week ago.
The cool thing about brand new babies is you can put them in one spot and they stay there.
I mean, you can, but then they make noises and they need stuff, and they don't care about your schedule. They're on their own schedule.
Constant breaks, I guess.
Man.
That's also the sort of the good thing about board games, right? Is you can just be like,
bro, your kid takes hardcore naps if that was during nap time. Sorry, what were you saying, Matt?
I was just going to say, you could always just stop with a board game. It's much easier to, like, pause. It doesn't consume power. You don't have a TV and a PlayStation running for an indiscriminate period of time.
As long as you're not playing a real-time game. If you're playing XCOM and the baby starts crying, you're like, we lost the scenario because the baby started crying. Goodness. Come on, baby. Why weren't you researching this technology instead of that technology? The first problem was that you got the baby to be the research person. But it is the easiest job. So if you're going to give them anyone, it should be that one, right? Rob's like, please stop.
No, I was just thinking, like, which one of us still has our copy of XCOM?
I do. It's over
You
there.
do? Oh,
I couldn't sell it. No.
I never had a copy of it to begin with.
I like the game.
Yeah.
The game just stresses me out too much to play it, which I love the miniatures. I love the little alien ships. I love the good guy ships. I love the premise of the game. I really like everything about the game, but I don't need that kind of stress in my life. It's kind of how I feel like. I don't know. It's like if the game stresses you out too much to like actually play it, it's kind of like, man. It's one of those games that I feel like it's competitive, cooperative game. Like you have to be like, we got our team. Like, you know, if you're into having like that team, like League of Legends team or Dota teams, like we got our team together, we got our crew, everybody, we've practiced for this. Let's make this happen.
So like that's the board game that you could have a tournament with. Like
Maybe.
who scores the best?
Maybe if a bunch of people got good at it, that would be crazy to actually see, but there'd have to be a following for that sort of thing. They made an expansion for it, but I'm just like, an expansion? I played it like 3 or 4 times, and I'm still sweating. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's fun. I don't know. Good times.
Good times.
Cool. I guess we can get into what we've been playing.
Yes.
You want to go? Because I've been working.
Well, I know Matt's been playing some stuff too. I'm actually very interested to hear.
Yeah. I played Legendary.
Oh, nice.
And Terraforming Mars.
Yes, but with the expansions.
Yeah. I played with Venus Next and Prelude.
How was that?
Which one? Or just the whole thing?
Just, I mean, you could break it down. Like, which one you like better?
Okay.
Did you play them both together, like in the same games? All right.
And I feel like that was a little strange. So the game was a little longer because you can, with Venus Next, you can start terraforming Venus, but you can only get it to about 30% of the way through. So it's mostly just you get cards that will let you do something on Venus that raises the terraforming rate, which subsequently raises your terraforming rate, so you get more money. But other than that, it doesn't really benefit you in any way. It doesn't sort of make the game go any faster. It sort of slows it down a bit.
Okay.
Which is, you know, it depends on how you play it. I like to play that game sort of longer anyway, because I like to build everything from the ground up.
Yeah.
So it's okay. That expansion's all right. It's not anything crazy. Like if you don't have that expansion, I don't think you. It's not
missing much.
Yeah, you can. There's definitely a lot of cool cards and cool tech cards and stuff that relate to Venus, but it feels like going really hard in that direction is, especially with all of the other cards mixed in, a bit harder to do. So if you try to push for it, you might end up with like less points on Mars in total. So it could also be that we shuffled a bit, but there were dense sort of pockets of the Venus cards in there. So maybe now that they're a bit more shuffled and will be reshuffled, it might be a bit more even distribution. But Prelude is really interesting because with Prelude, there's 5 new corporations.
Yeah.
That all do different things. And so the way we played it is I dealt everybody 2 of the generic corporations to start, then 1 from the Venus expansion, and then 1 from the Prelude expansion, and then they chose between those 4 what to pick. So that was kind of neat. And then there's a bunch of Prelude cards that you deal 4 of them to each player, and then they choose 2 to start. And basically it sort of like jumpstarts your engine a bit. So like the ones I had, I started off with 3 power and 3 heat generation around, and then just got 3 heat immediately. AJ's had a bunch of stuff going on, and so he got to start with like some iron and some titanium and stuff like that. And then they all have tags on it so that you can start your engines a little bit quicker.
Okay.
And then it just adds a bunch of other tech cards. So, but yeah, it's pretty good. I like Prelude. I don't know if I'll always play with it, but it is definitely fun. So you can sort of
makes it even more asymmetrical, sort of.
Yeah. And then so you can sit there and you can you get your corporation cards. You're trying to figure out what cards you want to keep at the start, and you can look at these Prelude cards and then try to figure out, you know, like, oh, if I do this with that, you know, maybe I can build an engine that way, or maybe it's just more beneficial for me to take this one so I can get like a little bit of iron generation or something, and that might help me in the long run, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. That was probably the longest game of Terraforming Mars I've played. Like, it got to the point where I was like, I don't want to end the game because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose. So I'm trying to score as many points as I can.
Yeah.
And Hector and AJ were just like, if we can do one more turn, I can score more points. So we just sort of kept doing that, and Mars was very terraformed. Like, I think we had maybe 10 tiles that didn't have something on it that were still just barren Martians. Wow. Everything else was just like trees and cities and all sorts of stuff. Like, AJ was making so much money there at the end and had an engine that would just give him money during the round that he put down like 3 to 4 cities in the last round just to try and score points off of trees. And I was just like, geez, okay, this is crazy. But the game was super close. Hector and AJ tied in points, and then it came down to money, which AJ had $1 more.
Nice.
It was pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
Pretty cool. Or no, I think Hector had $1 more, not AJ.
You said Hector.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
You're like, one of those guys won. It wasn't me.
It was not me. It was not me.
All right, Shaggy.
I was just happy to be there. But yeah.
What did you play at your house?
Yeah.
So you were there.
Yeah. Ryan was there for like half of the legendary game and then had to bounce. But yeah.
Do you have a complete collection of legendary?
No. I have legendary and like 2 of the bigger box expansions. No, 3 of the bigger box expansions. But I don't know.
I
definitely, when I was looking through some stuff, I was like, "Oh man, where's this character?" And I was like, "Oh, that's right, that's in Roy's copy." Because I don't
come over, play it with me anytime.
Yeah, I don't technically know where like anybody is in any of the expansions, so I'm just like, this one has a lot of characters. Let me just, if I'm gonna buy one, I'll buy this one. And then it's just like,
I think it's probably better to buy it for the mechanics or whatever, because they just have a whole bunch of random characters in them. But
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm missing the Planet Hulk one and the Noir one, and I don't have any of the ones that have like the movie stills, because they made like a new core box that's like Marvel Cinematic Universe that has like pictures from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes,
and that honestly terrified me because Cool Stuff sent out a thing and they're like, "Man, check it out! It's the legendary!" Like, because it was for the Cinematic Universe like 10th anniversary edition.
Yeah.
They're like, "It's Legendary's 10th anniversary," and I'm like, "Man, did they do a reprint?" And I just bought the core box. Like, I'm gonna be a little upset. And then I look at it and I was like, never mind. This is fine.
No, it's not the exact same as the regular core box, but it has a lot of crossover. But it has movie stills, and now each different card has different art on it, of course, but it's all like screen grabs from the movies and stuff like that. It's okay. I mean, I don't know. I feel like movie stills are kind of interesting. I don't know how I really feel about it, but I also feel like they could do it better than they have.
Well, yeah, it's cheap. It's simple.
I know, but I feel like the movie stills and the graphic design they've used together don't necessarily make it appealing to me. I'm just like,
Nope. You're right.
And I don't know. Maybe they just need to like touch up the pictures that they take, like make them look.
I like the comic book stuff better, hands down.
Look good. Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like they could do it with movie steals. It just seems like they need to just not hit like Control C and copy and paste it over into the thing. They need to do a little bit more doctoring on the pictures or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me. Some of them probably look great, and others kind of look like, wait, what? Random side character from a profile shot. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, Rob, what did you get to play?
I got to play the Village Attacks. It was a Kickstarter that came in. The Village Attacks is a 1 to 5 player game where you pick a famous monster, and you are defending your castle. Famous monsters range from Dracula to the headless, headless knight or horseman or whatever. There's succubuses. There's they can't do like Frankenstein, like those like direct names. But anyway, you are a monster, and you are defending the heart of your castle from peasants and villagers, and then there's like hero villagers that come in, and then there's like hunters that come in, so like the villagers can ramp up on how much damage that they do against you, and like the heroes are basically bosses that will come in and they'll do a bunch of damage, and they also have powers and abilities and stuff. And so what you're trying to do is you are trying to complete the objective, which it's not just kill everybody. Sometimes it's you have to upgrade your character. So in the game you have your player card, and it has, I want to say, 3 different player slots where you can put in these upgrades. So like, let's say I'm Dracula. I can upgrade something where I can move faster, or I can hit harder, or maybe I'm not affected by certain traps in the dungeon, because you set up traps, and the game also sets up traps for the enemy, but they can affect you if you're in that room as well. So like if you end your turn, stuff like that. The graphics and everything, like, it's a pretty game. I really like the tiles. I like that the color scheme that they used. The minis are really great. They came out really, really nice, really good quality. Everything seems to be like a good hard plastic. It doesn't seem cheap or like it's about to fall apart or brittle or anything. The dice are really nice. I got some extra dice that came with the game as well. We just played like the first little campaign just to get everybody accustomed to it, and then more people showed up, so then we went to play social deduction games after we did the first mini campaign.
Oh, nice.
So what I like about the game is it teaches you how to play during the first 3 missions. And so we only did the first mission, and the first mission, the way you win is you kill all of the enemies that are on the board by the end of whatever round. Like, there's no limit to rounds, but you just have to end the round with all of them dead. And every character has to upgrade at least once. And they can only upgrade once, but every character's got to upgrade once. And so that the way that the enemies come on the board is kind of like Zombicide, where they have certain spawn zones. And so that's where they enter in the board. And so you just need to make sure that, that's taken care of. But it taught us like the basics. Like, you're only allowed to move this. You're only allowed to attack with this. You're only allowed to like upgrade this with this upgrade. Next. And so as you go through the game, it's one of those games where you're not going to really read the rule book so much, because again, the game, if you follow the campaign, it's going to teach you how to play. And by like the 4th mission, it's like go time. Like, all right, like, and there's also this big troll mini that I got that came with it. In the troll mini, I mean, he's easily double the size of all the other miniatures, and he hurts everybody. So if the troll ever gets activated, he'll come in and he'll just wreck shop, and he'll run through a bunch of stuff. You have event decks. You have trap decks, you have villager decks, so there's a lot of cards, there's a lot of components. Really pretty game. I'm excited to play it some more. I also like that it's 1 player as well. Not that I ever play 1-player games, but I like the thought that I might one day play a game by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Same.
Right? I mean, I tried that with Descent 2nd Edition, and it was cool. I don't know. I'd rather go play a video game if I'm going to play by myself. But if the power ever goes out, I've got games to play by myself, so I'm going to be up. And so anyway, it was a fun game. I definitely want to bring it back to the table. I think you guys would like... I don't know how much you would like it at the beginning. I think you guys would like it...
Once it gets deeper?
Once it gets deeper.
Yeah.
But because it's one of those things where you're going to be playing for multiple hours... to get to the part where it gets deeper, you may want to just like read up on the rules. But I also liked it because it did it that way. I was also playing with new gamers.
Yeah.
And so it was a way.
Level.
Yes, we were able to start at the beginning, and they were able to learn, and I was able to learn at the get-go. And so it was one of those things where it was like, okay, like I already know how to play games, but this is teaching me the mechanics. Oh, and you're brand new to this, and it's not intimidating because it's also a complete co-op. And so like you're all working together. And one thing that's cool is the heart of the castle. Like you have these little dials that let you know like How many more peasants? Like the peasants basically have like a panic thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And once you kill enough of the peasants and they get scared enough, once theirs like hits its max, they'll go away because they're super freaked out. But the heart of the castle also has its own dial where the peasants, if they ever reach the heart of the castle, you can lose depending on the end game condition, or you can attack and hurt the heart of the castle. And so you, as the bad guy, right, because you're trying to defend your house, you can go into the heart of the castle room and give it energy, give it life. Because it's like the castle, certain rooms of the castle also gives you powers as well.
Interesting.
And so I thought that was kind of cool. Like, okay, the castle is a very, very, very minor character. Like, it's not just they have to blow this up. Like, okay, like, we can also work together to, like, you can go to the heart of the castle, and that's where you can do healing on your character. Like, if you get certain wounds, some wounds don't just go away. Like, if a hunter throws, like, a poison bomb on you, you have to either have a certain card, or you can go to the heart of the castle and use an action to not just heal the wound, but it's like any type of poison or whatever from what I've played so far will be removed. And so it's just kind of cool. I liked how...
Yeah, I like the whole concept behind it. Seems pretty cool.
Yeah. It wasn't like that just zombie side of just spawn and kill stuff. It's like, okay, there's depth to it, and I see how it could get crazy. So anyway, that's the Village Attacks. It's not out yet. Like, the Kickstarters are still coming in. I got mine like a week or two ago. And so I don't know. It was fun. I definitely want to play it again. And then we played like Deception Murder in Hong Kong, and we played Crossfire. And man, Deception Murder in Hong Kong, when you play with brand new people that have never played before, like, I love my friends. I love my friends. They could never kill anybody. They could absolutely never, because like some of the stuff that they would choose whenever they got the murder card,
was too obvious, or
super obvious, bro.
Nice,
like super obvious,
easy to connect,
right? Like they would pick bloody towel and knife.
Nice,
and it's like okay, and they would have like other weird, crazy, obscure things where like you can make it crazy. Nope. They were like, okay, yeah. They were thinking if I was a murderer, this is what it'd be kind of looking like. And I'm trying to tell them at the beginning, that's not what you want to do. Like, we had one guy pegged almost as fast as we did AJ that one time.
No, it was like, Matt that we got. It was you and AJ that figured it out.
It was Hector.
Oh, it was Hector. Gotcha. Oh, but you were like the accomplice or something like that.
Yeah, I was the accomplice. I was just like, no, guys, stop.
Oh, that was part of the whole legacy of
so much
Rob
fun.
Always knowing it's Hector, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it is weird. Speaking of like Halloween and stuff, I need to see that, man. It's weird.
Dude,
how
did you talk to any of the guys about the werewolf thing when you guys were playing, Matt?
I've mentioned it. I can try.
I know I texted everybody. I was just like, guys, come on, let's do this thing.
Ambi, I did that. I specifically did that. I told them, hey, everybody, we're going to take a few minutes after everyone's got their cards out and just look at everybody else's cards.
Yeah.
Look at their cards. Before I even pass out your character card, I want everyone to think, if you're the murderer, what is stuff that you have that is similar to everybody else's? Because I was playing with like a pretty much brand new group.
That's
and they were like, oh, okay. But as soon as it came down to it and you're like, murderer, open your eyes, they'd start giggling and like get all excited.
Oh, no.
And it's like, and they point at this and we're like, all right, bro. And so I'm trying not to laugh. And
yeah, I've had those games. I've had those games where I have to reset just because they're like, they were making too much noise. I know it's them, and you're just like, well, that kind of messed up the game a little bit, but okay.
So anyway, we'll see. But so that's what we played after Deception. I mean, that's what we played after the Village Attacks.
Nice.
And then we just sat on the couch and got to know each other, got deep a little bit, which was fun as well.
Nice.
So anyway,
yeah, you like to murder people with knives and bloody towels. I see.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How does that make you feel? I haven't played a whole lot of anything. We played D&D on Sunday, which is awesome.
You've been playing Pokemon with your kids?
I haven't played the card game. We played Pokemon Go a whole bunch, but that's about it. I'm the only person that played that, but I played it a little bit because the new Switch game is supposed to work with Pokemon Go. So I was just like, hey, if I can get my Pokemon Go into the new Pokemon Switch game, that seems kind of cool. But now we've just been messing around with that a little bit. But we played a bunch of D&D on Sunday, which is awesome. If you guys aren't checking out the Epic Tales of Misplaced Meeples, it's always fun. And we have Adam, who's currently in chat, who's been running it for us, and he's been doing a great job. It's really fun to play through all the different stuff. Dude, Rob's always crazy, man. Rob's always crazy, but it's fun. I was like,
hey, man, I
don't do the thing. You're like, it's okay. I'm like, don't you have to do the thing?
Well, I'm doing it.
I'm glad that my character gets to take the mistakes of the things that your character does. It's fine, Adam. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. As long as I get to be a vampire.
Just doing what my character would do, and with the oath that he took, being a paladin, like he would go to try to kill that guy.
Oh, I know.
Who would have known there was going to be vampires and giant megalodon sharks in the water?
My thing is, how fast were we going that a metal coffin skips across water? Like, how are you one-handing this chain? I do not understand. Adam's like, no, you don't have to roll. You don't have to make any more rolls at all. This isn't a skill challenge. No, you're good. You're good. Your character's like impervious to falling off of things, Rob.
Hey, I didn't fall off.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you're a beast.
Yeah.
You're like punching shark.
Well, because he has me do athletics.
You're jet skiing.
And I'm like super high, and I'm proficient in athletics.
You're like,
so it's not only that I'm high, but I get the bonus.
You're tubing on a metal thing, smacking sharks in the face with an axe at the same time. You are a hero, I swear. And I'm like, let me just try to shoot this thing real quick. I should have backflipped off of something. No, it's cool.
That's what I was telling Hector. He asked me, he was like, hey, man, how's the game going? And I was like, oh, man, it's pretty good. I was like, Rob is hilarious. And he's like, what do you mean? So they'll be like, oh, man, you killed the thing. Describe how it is. And I'll be like, yeah, man, I just take the orb of magic or whatever and I hit the thing and it just kind of blows up or whatever. And it's like, yeah. And then I'm like, and then Rob's like, I wall run for like 15 feet and then do like a somersaulting backflip cartwheel. And then
well, yeah, I try to describe it.
Eyes fly out. And I'm like, but it's so descriptive, though. Like you get so into it. It makes me so happy. Every time
Adam should be like, hey, time to do some skill checks to see if that works. Roll success. You did it.
Hey, if you want my character to mess up, don't ask me to roll athletics. Because my athletics is 5. Well, I'm
+5, right?
No, I'm 5, and I'm also proficient in it.
Yeah.
And so don't you get to add the proficiency bonus to that as well? So I'm technically +8.
Typically skills you're trained in. So it's like if you have a 5 because you're modified.
You just do that number. You don't add the proficiency bonus also. Proficiency bonus is when you don't have the skill, right? Yeah. Hey, we're talking D&D mechanics now.
Oh, okay.
Woo.
Well,
D&D is so much fun. It's just one of those games.
I may have found a couple of my numbers wrong then. Because I was adding +8 rather than +5.
It's crazy that you can play.
Right. My highest is +7.
It's crazy that you can just play Dungeons and Dragons for like hours and just be like sucked in. I mean, honestly, like when we were done, I was just like, I could keep playing. You know, it's crazy. Like,
oh yeah, I could have kept going.
The stories and stuff you make in these games. And it's stuff that's like, it's hard to forget, you know? I don't know. It's just cool how like you can weave these stories and work together. And like Adam, he's like, I had like the same way when I was running my scenarios, like I have all sorts of different ways this could play out. Let's see what the characters are going to do with this game that we've like created and this world that I'm working on. Like how are they going to interact with everything that's been put in place? So it's just really cool to like build a story together. I don't know. It's fun. And Dungeons & Dragons is one of those things where you have to spend a lot of time to do it, but I feel like it's worth like trying to get that schedule or whatever. Like we only do it once a month, but I look forward to it every time because it's just a blast. If you guys aren't checking that stuff out, you definitely should because it's definitely super fun.
Yeah.
Hype.
It is fun.
But yeah, I haven't really had a whole lot of chance to play much else. I was telling the guys, I've been working like crazy. Like I only worked 45 hours last week, but just with that and kids being in school, like I have some time during the weekends. It's just trying to figure out what to do with the little bit of time I have. So hey, if you guys ever have like just a little, I keep being like, Rob, after work on Friday at 11 o'clock, I stay up way later than everybody else. It's too late to do anything at 11 o'clock, but you know.
Yeah.
Someday I'll get to play games with somebody.
I think the other thing is just like the fact that all of our like work shifts are weird. Like I'm getting up at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's
so,
the
like,
exact opposite of you guys.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like we got done playing D&D, and my phone's doing this neat thing now where the volume just always it starts off at the normal volume that it's set at, and then it just diminishes to nothing over time. So my alarms are those types of alarms that start off quietly and get louder. So it starts off quiet, and then as it gets louder, the volume drops, so it just doesn't make noise.
Oh, that's not good.
No. So Monday, after we got done playing, my alarm went off at like 5, and I was just like, yeah, and I just slept through it.
I've
so
done that
woke up
before.
at 7, and I was just like, I am really late for work. Yay!
I've been there where your body is like either that or you just turn your alarm off like in your sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Because your body is just like, no, you're not getting up. And you're like, I have no recollection of that whatsoever. So,
Yep.
and that's the worst. But hopefully, yeah, you know. That's when I like
did
set
that.
3
I think
alarms.
the same thing on Monday. I
Really?
was late taking my daughter to school.
Rough.
It was worth it. I mean, we like just made it. I typically get up like around 7 to take whatever. Like she got in before the bell rang, but I typically like to drop her off before then, like where she's not rushed. But it was so worth it, man. The story's getting crazy, and now Crystal's on this just like, not that she's provoking me, but she's like, you know what, screw it, T, do whatever you want type of a thing. And so she's like, you want to jump? And I love it. I'm like, okay.
Crystal's having fun with the whole like her character dressing up with the robe on. She's like, I'm a demon in a robe. I don't know. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Just taunting the crap out of a goblin. I don't know. It's just good times.
Oh man, that goblin was a jerk. I'm glad I did what I did to him.
So hey, sorry, we've talked about all this different stuff.
People
like, sort of. Everyone's like, kill the goblin. Matt's like, no.
I was like, he's actually kind of cool. He speaks all the riddles. This thing's great.
I just want to find out what's up with those ghosts. Like, so was it that Dracula thing that summoned them?
I'm just more happy that I am now a proud boat owner. Like, that's really...
You mean airship owner? Pull back on the handles, Matt. Pull back on the handles.
I'm actually genuinely curious. I didn't get to ask Adam, but I was just like, I wonder if I can just take this rod with me and just randomly be like, and wind. But I was like, it probably is mounted in the boat because that makes way more sense.
Because at a certain point, it's like, hey, stop trying to break the game, Matt. No, I'm just kidding.
I just like pull it off and I break the boat. So I'm just like, oh no, do I want a cool rod or do I want a cool boat?
We could just fly anywhere.
Yeah.
Where's the place Adam will least expect us to fly? No, I'm just kidding. Let's see how good of a DM you really are, Adam. Awesome. Cool. But yeah, so hey, how's everything going, guys? This is the topic tonight. I didn't really have a whole lot. Hanging out, talking about games.
No, Darth, don't root for it. Sorry.
Nice.
So we're talking about gaming drought, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. Because some of us haven't gotten to play many games. Maybe that's just me.
Hey, there are times where I go through
like 2 in a month.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So what do you guys do when like you don't have time for games, or how do you make time to be able to like play stuff, and what kind of thing? Because I'm currently in sort of like a situation where I have all these new games that I really want to play, and it's a little bit hard for me to get excited about other new games when I have so many that I haven't played yet. And I'm just like, I really want to play these other games too. And you guys have a lot of games that I'd really like to play. It's like, oh man, I really want to play Rob's Western Legends, and I'd love to play all these other things. It's like just finding the time to be able to get it to the table. And then it's like, oh, and there's piles of other games and piles of other nooms of games. It's like, oh man, I feel like I'm behind. I'm behind at this point. And it's like, even if I play the games and I'm talking about old games, it's just kind of like being a content creator. It's just like, wow,
Yeah.
how do we even do this? I'm just going to have fun with it and roll with whatever happens, you know?
Well, okay. Here's one thing. Like, yes, you are a content creator, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, like, don't feel bad. And this is not like a counseling session, but
I need
like,
counseling,
don't-
Rob. Please help.
oh, bro, we'd have to turn the cameras off. Like,
Wait, what kind of counseling do you give?
anyway, so no, here's the thing. Like, I love this show. I love you guys. Like, I really do. And I love our live chat. I love you guys, but if it wasn't for live chat, if it wasn't for Adam Sparkles and Darth Grader starting it off when Roy was mispronouncing their names and all this kind of stuff at the beginning when we started to really do chat.
Hey, just note, everybody that mispronounced their name hardcore, they keep coming back. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, and I love that. But, like,
That's it.
that's one of the reasons why I keep going, right? Because we've been doing this for over 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not getting paid to do this. Like, our Patreons, you guys help immensely. Don't get me wrong. Like, we appreciate it, and we need your money.
Hey,
because without your money,
if you weren't
we're
there, you probably wouldn't be here, because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wait, I'm paying for all this stuff every month.
month after month and month after month and then month after month, we're still paying that stuff. And so we love you guys and we appreciate you guys. But, like, we also have families and full-time jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so every once in a while, we get into a drought. And it's not like you're in a drought because you don't want to be gaming.
Oh, it's
You're in
the
a drought
opposite of
because
that.
your current job situation is the night shift.
Yep.
And like, your kids recently just started back at school, but still, like, you're working crazy hours, 13 hours a shift, or 10 plus hours per shift. Like, you're working these crazy hours. You come home, you're trying to get that normal sleep schedule. You got the kids coming back in the afternoon. I mean, it's okay. So the way you make up for it is like a recon. Like, recon to me,
Yeah.
fix like a gaming drought.
Mm-hmm.
Like that Recon and Mega Moose Con. Like, I played more games at those two cons than I did all summer. Like, I think
excluding
throughout the
Dice
summer-
Tower Con, or
Well, I mean, in between Dice Tower Con, because that was July 4th.
yeah.
And then the end of August, September. Right? So you have July. So you basically, I had like almost 2 months, a month and a half plus of where I really didn't get to play anything because I had work and stuff like that. So it was like one of those like special occasions where I was able to get it all out. And even before, oh man, bro, before Dice Tower Con, like, I had to make appointments to play games for the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I'm slammed with work. And so, like, if I didn't make these appointments, like, I wasn't playing. Like, I would even tell you when I'd come to your house and I play with you, I'm like, hey man, I got to leave by here because I got to go to this meeting or pick up my kid and then go to this meeting type of a thing. And so it's all right, man. It is all right that you get into droughts. And I think you're going to make up for it soon, right? The 13th, we're about to have this crazy...
Oh, yeah. I'm stoked about that. Ashley keeps asking about it in chat, like, every week. She's like, when are you guys playing Werewolf Legacy?
Should we Twitch that? Go old school?
I don't know if
Twitch?
I'm trying to get a lot of people to come. I don't know if everybody that's there would be on board with, like, hey, we're just going to stream the whole thing. But, I mean, I don't know.
We could always do a spoiler podcast version, right? Where we could go over like what happened and all the cool stuff
Yeah,
that went on.
that would be a fun
Just
thing to
straight up
talk
at the
about.
beginning, be like, guys, we're going to talk about the stuff that you don't want to know about. So if you haven't played it, when you have, or if you don't care,
do it on YouTube, couldn't we just put like at the bottom bar like spoilers, live content, not holding anything back? Right? Can we do that?
Yeah.
But what Roy's saying is he's not sure that the people who are showing up would be comfortable being streamed.
Yeah.
Not all of
That's
them.
true. I mean, I get the only
usually
reason
talk
why I
about
don't
it.
want to stream it is because I want some crazy music in the background. That's
Yep.
the only reason why I don't want to stream.
Nice. Oh, I got something for it that'll make it interesting. I'll tell you guys, but don't tell anybody. I'm sure a bunch of the other people watching aren't going to show up. I got this crazy like werewolf mask.
So whoever's the werewolf has to wear it?
No, my idea is I'm going to have it hidden, and then after like the first round I'm going to moderate everything. And because I mean you don't know who the werewolves are. So like we're going to get to the very end, and like the first game that like werewolves win, like I'm going to put everybody to sleep and then like hand the person that I know is the werewolf as being the moderator their werewolf mask and put it on like as they win the game, and then have everybody wake up and they're gonna be like, oh, it's that person. That's my idea. And then after that I figured there'll be banter about like, hey, put that mask on, you need to wear that mask, get that mask on, you werewolf. Anyway, so
that sounds exciting. I'm excited to play.
Hopefully it'll be a good time. So
I think it'll be a great time. I think it's gonna be a great time. A social deduction legacy game. I'm stoked to see how that works.
And Werewolf is like a casual enough game because it's one of those where it's like, oh, it's got player elimination, but it's kind of like weird because like you have player elimination, but it's just that person in your family died, and you have like this family lineage that your family gets upgraded as the game goes along. So it'd be kind of interesting. It's like, oh, I'm out this round so far, but now I get some upgrades, and now I'm coming back in the next round. It'll be interesting to see how the game leads on as time progresses.
Well, yeah, I like that, how you get to come back.
Yeah. I mean, I think each chapter is kind of like you play 3 games in each chapter, but like the entire chapter is like a complete like sort of thing, but they all carry together. But when you're adding people in and out of the game, you should really do it like at a chapter break or something like that, because the different pieces of the chapter will kind of flow together, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Sweet.
It'll be interesting to see. And that game has like this leather-bound book, which is like super crazy. So I'm definitely excited to see everything that gets unlocked as we play the game. But yeah.
What time are we trying to start that?
So I have it scheduled, I think, at like 11.
11?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll just play till, whenever. Heather's
Is
down
Kent
to
Parker coming?
Kent said he was coming. I'm not sure. So he just had a baby.
Courtney's amazing, bro. I don't know how Courtney. Oh, did you hear what they named their son?
Yeah. I was like, what? What?
Peter Parker.
Made me happy. She said no, but hey.
That's great.
She screwed up. She screwed up by naming, I think it was her dad. Like their other son is named after her dad.
Yeah.
And so like you can't do that because they named their first son after one of the dads, but the other dad's name was Peter. Mm-hmm. And so it's like one of those things like, okay, like you're going to either make it extremely awkward for the rest of your life at any family gathering, or you're just going to have a superhero for a son. I'm glad they went the superhero route. I'm super pumped that they went that route. I think it's...
Yeah.
I texted him today. I was like, so how much Spider-Man stuff do you guys currently own? Like, how much have you guys bought?
That's awesome.
Anyway, gaming drought.
What about you, Mount? I know there's been a lot of times when you'll be like, I just work, and I got all these unopened games behind me.
Yeah. I think one of the other barriers that I have to even playing games is like sometimes I'll get these things and I'll go, cool, I didn't bother to look at the rules when I kickstarted it or bought it or whatever, and now I open the box and I go, ooh, I want to do this right now. And so I don't for a long time. I don't know.
It's also intimidating when you get a Kickstarter and there's so many boxes.
Dude, hang on. Let me show you something. So this game came in. And this is the game that I backed just because of the artwork. So it was like $30.
That is a beautiful game.
And it looks really cool. And I was like, yeah. And it's sort of like a little deck engine builder type thing. And I'm like, yeah, all right, neat. And I open it up, and there's like, I don't know, maybe 40 cards in total. And there's like a small little player board with all these actions and stuff you can do. And the rule book is like 30 pages. And I'm like, wow. Oh my God, this game is way more complicated than I thought it was. But yeah, so
that's crazy. Do you ever try to watch videos on the games or anything like that, or you're just like, oh, I'll just read through this? eventually?
I do sometimes, but then I feel like there's such a large, especially on like Kickstarters, they're like, all right, well, this is the game overview, and it's either like a playthrough that's like a 3 hour long video, or it's somebody's like 30-minute long review, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I
don't
jump
really
and
want
skip
to.
around everything a lot of the time. I just try to get like a general gist of how the game works, and then hit the rule book. After I'm like, okay, they explain a few of the mechanics and maybe a few of the little aspects about it, and then I'm like, okay, now I've got the concept of what the game is and how the game kind of plays. Now I can go into the rule book and see like the particulars about it and stuff like that. And I mean, a lot of games use a lot of the same stuff, so it kind of makes it a little bit easier sometimes, but then sometimes you have stuff that's just like, this is different. It's awesome that it's different, but it's also interesting because now I got to figure out how to play a completely different game, you know? So,
Yep.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me,
How
it's
about
mostly
you,
just,
Roy?
for me, it's mostly just time as far as drought stuff goes, and
What are you gonna do about it?
what am I going to do about it? I'm going to, honestly, the main thing I want to do about it is try to work day shift, but it's like, man, I can't have weeknight game nights. There's actually several game nights in the area that go on and things like that, but I can't attend that sort of thing because they're all like while I'm working, you know? And it's harder for me to have weekend game nights when I don't get to see my family during the week. So it's like, even if I just got to see my family more, I'd be able to have weekend game nights, you know, more often. It's hard for me to ask my wife, hey, can I take this weekend to do more stuff when I've gone to several different little cons and stuff like that. It's like, hey, can I have another gaming thing? She's like, but you know, when you going to see the family? And I'm like, me too. I want to see my family also. So, but
See, that's why I have a phone. I have pictures of them. I'm like, okay.
You almost work from home though, don't you? For the most part, I mean, you're running around.
No,
all
I
over the
do.
place.
Like, my office is in my basement. Like, I work from home, and like I run out to go meet clients and stuff. But like, my office is in my basement, so I get to see my kids a lot. But I'm the same. Like, if I go to a con or something, by like the second day, I'm jonesing to just like get a hug or like a something. Like, I'm thankful for FaceTime, but it's not the same.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you guys a deep, not deep, but it could go. Let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys ever feel pressure sometimes to play a game because of our show? And when that happens, are you ever just like, bro, like, screw this? Like, why is this happening right now? Like,
there's sometimes where, I mean, I'm very particular about the games that I like, but there's sometimes where I'll try the game. Sometimes it'd be like, no, I'd probably rather just repeat and play this other game that I know that I love. But sometimes I'll see a new game where it's like, it might not be something that would be the most awesome thing I'd ever want to play or something that I would even think of getting by myself. But I mean, like, I'll try it because it'll be something I can talk about. So that's kind of like a positive way sometimes that the show makes me want to play a game, you know? Because just like, oh man, maybe I'll just try it just because that way I'll have an opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, but have you ever played games when you really didn't want to play games? Like, that's my question. Have you ever forced yourself to play games when you wanted a break? And maybe it wasn't because you were mad at gaming or anything. Maybe just like mentally you had a lot of stuff going on. Because at the end of the day, this is a happy hobby. Like, we started the show because of good times.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we started the show because we're having fun and good times. But like, do you ever get to a place where it's just like, maybe it's in the middle of your drought, or maybe it's what starts the drought, the gaming drought, where you're just like I just got a lot on my plate right now, and as much as I would like to play a game, I don't really want to right now because I can't focus on it. Do you ever find yourselves in those positions at all?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean,
I only say that because I just don't. Like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it, if that makes any sense.
yeah.
No, it does.
So,
Well, I guess the main person for this really, at the end of it really is Roy, because
yeah, he does.
I mean, you are the one you are pushing the most content. Like, you are the content creator.
I wish I could make more, but I don't have time to make more. And it's not even that. I mean, I have games that I've played. I've played the game enough to make content on the game, like make reviews and make different things, and I want to. But, like, I've run out of ability to do stuff a lot of times just because time constraints. Like, literally, the other week I worked, what was it, like 53 hours? It's just like, And, like, after you work 53 hours my job is extremely physically demanding. So, I mean, I have the mental capacity to play games. It's just the physical capacity to, like, actually get up and do things because I'm, like, dead. As far as, like, just forcing myself to play games when I don't want to, I mean, normally I just want to play games. So, I don't really have that much of an issue. Normally, if there's a game that I just don't want to play, I normally just won't do it. Like Matt said, like, it's like, if that game is like, no, I'm good, I just won't. So, I don't know.
And see, that was one of the things at the beginning that I had mentioned, that I don't really want to do reviews because I feel like reviews push you into being part of the cult of the new, right? So you have to play the new games, you have to get that review out, you have to do all this stuff in a timely manner. Otherwise, people are going to get the jump on you, and then you're going to use views and clicks and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Is what really does it. So it's like, if you can just avoid that altogether and just do something else that creates meaning and value within the space, then you effectively do the same thing without all of that hassle and stress.
Yeah, I never was one of those, because there's a lot of reviewers that go around and, like, try to get, like, just any game, every game. Let's get all the games and review all the games. I've never really been like that. I'm just like, I want to review the games. It's kind of weird, but it's like, I just want to review these games that I, like, actually like. So it's kind of like, it doesn't even make sense to even really be doing a review, because if I'm doing the video, I normally like it. I've done a few bad reviews. Tom had sent me a box of, like, terrible games a while back.
Yeah.
And some of those games were bad. So
Yeah, that Korean game. I don't know what that was about, but
that game was, I couldn't, it was literally, it wasn't enough of a game to even, I never made a video of it because we couldn't get through the game. It's just like, if I make this video, it'd be like, this game is half-baked. It's not really a game, or it's just not translated good enough for me to understand. The mechanics just don't work.
that's fair.
Like, I mean, I could make those videos, and I made videos where I'm like, hey, this game is boring, and the graphic design is terrible. But it's just kind of like, meh. And I mean, if the game is actually terrible, people don't care that much. But if there's, like, what did we do? We did Inish. And we liked Inish. All of us liked Inish, and we said it was a great game. But we're like, man,
I didn't say great.
We've played Blood Rage so much, we wish there was more variety in Inish. And people were like, well, they got all mad at our review. And I'm just like, okay, fanboy guys, it's fine. I mean, we understand you like it. And we said it was good, too. We said it was a good game. But
It's just the draft that did it for me on Inish.
And then, I mean, actually, after, like, looking more into the game, like, I found out that there's been lots of situations where the game's just completely unwinnable because of the game state. And if I had known that before we did the review, I'm like, man, we actually went kind of easy on it. Even though Inish is a cool game and it's pretty looking and I like the art and, I mean, it's got lots of good things about it. But, you know.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons why I ask, and I won't bring up the content creator's name, but I don't know if you saw this, Roy, but maybe like a month or two ago, like there was this content creator on Instagram who just kind of like stopped, and they were like, I'm tired of doing this. I need a break because I'm rushing to get the new game. Like, I'm not enjoying it as much anymore.
Yeah.
Type of a thing. And so I didn't know, like, if you felt that way, or like or Matt, like if you ever felt like, man, do I have to play this game because of the show? Because sometimes, you know, you get that mentality. That can also cause a gaming drought where it's like, do I really want to be doing this type of a thing?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, for me,
just thought I'd throw it out there.
For me, I really do want to be doing it. It's just hard for me to get. I mean, I work every night of the week. I'm supposed, like, literally when I do the podcast, I'm like, per my job, I'm supposed to be at work, but my job is nice enough that how I started my job, I started doing the podcast at this time. Like, I'm supposed to be at work even now, and I know a bunch of you guys don't know, but, like, I literally, when we turn the podcast off, I go to work. Like, that's kind of crazy. But, like, I run to work and go work for, like, several hours until, like, 4 in the morning normally on Tuesdays, 4 in the morning plus. So, hey, it makes it a little bit hard to be like, okay, when can I find time to actually get games to the table? So, because it's like I wake up, I have a few minutes to get ready for work and get a few errands done, and then
help take care of the kids and
it kind of stinks because it's like it almost makes it like hard because like I don't even have enough time to like apply for other jobs properly. It's like it's that bad. So it's like and I'm not saying I hate my job. I don't hate my job either. It's just kind of like it's just a lot.
Just hate your shift.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Something has to change, right?
If you wanted to change, you are the gatekeeper of your destiny, sir.
For sure. Good times, but hey, gotta pay the bills somehow.
Nacho Libre.
What was it?
He says that in that movie. Pancho, I am the gatekeeper of my destiny. Okay.
I
It's
lost
like
because
after
you have not been baptized.
I only believe in science. I used to live there, actually.
That's awesome. Yeah, I
Like
remember.
when that movie was filmed in that village, Oaxaca. I used to live there. When I was in Mexico, and like you see him in those mountains and stuff like that, like I've been there. And those ruins at the end of the movie, I've walked those same steps. I'm like, it's a lot of that city still looks like that today. It's terrible. Like it's not like I got so sick. You're talking about you want to go on a diet. You go drink the water in deep Mexico, bro. Ugh. I got sick. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
Nice.
So, gaming drought? Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Who goes
man.
through those?
What was I gonna say? What do you guys feel about as far as like new games? Are you still like super excited, or are you just like, man, I got all these Kickstarters I'm already waiting on? Is there a lot of other games you're still trying to get, or is it at the point where it's like I have a lot? Because I know Rob, you've been purging a lot of games here recently.
Well, I've also been purging them because I'm like, I'm not gonna play this game enough to keep it.
Yeah.
And like, I'm still somewhat of a fan of the Cult of the New, right? Like, it's not like I have to have every new game, but typically to me, especially if I do some research on the game, the new game is going to have new rules, new mechanics, which will probably be better than its predecessor. Now, if I like the theme of the predecessor better, like I don't think I'll ever get rid of Battlestar Galactica, even though there's other, like Betrayer, hidden role games. I love the theme. It's still a great game. It's still a lot of fun. I'll never get rid of that game.
How much money would someone have to pay you? Because they're going to pay a lot for it right now.
I mean, I honestly, I don't know if it's for sale. Now, if somebody wants to offer me stupid money for it, sure, it's for sale. I'll buy it. And then I'll go buy somebody else's cheaper copy on eBay.
There's no such thing as a cheaper copy on eBay right now.
But like, here's the thing: like, I've got like a handful of Kickstarters still coming in or supposedly coming in this year that aren't even here yet. I have Kickstarters that were supposed to come in last year that aren't even here yet.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, I'm excited for those, and I'm excited for the new stuff. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the other thing. Like, I'm purging games that like I bought that I thought would be really cool.
Uh-huh.
But I'm going back. Like, when I have people come over to my house, I did the Village Attacks on purpose because I want to play that game and I wanted to see how it went. But we then went right into Deception, Murder in Hong Kong and Crossfire.
Yeah.
Which I can't tell you how many times I've played Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. And every time I play, I still love the game.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things where it's like, I love Crossfire when you have a small group at first because it plays really well at 5 or 6. If you want to do like that version that we did, Roy, with
the sniper,
with Tom and them, the sniper one, like, okay, just pass along real quick, boom, 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 here you go. I mean, we can play those games in like 5 minutes or less. Like, here you go. But I guess the long version to wrap it up. There are some games I'll never get rid of, and there's some games I'm still going to buy just because they look pretty.
Yeah.
I'll never get rid of Blood Rage. I absolutely love Blood Rage. It'll never go. I'll get rid of Rising Sun before I get rid of Blood Rage.
Same.
In a heartbeat, actually. Like, Rising Sun is fun, and it's cute. and I like the minis. Like I like the minis, but I don't know, the draft and everything in Blood Rage. Like when you play that game and you still get excited about the cards coming your way, and then you play with other people who play the game and you're like, you passed me this card. If you passed me this, what did you take? Because you just passed me Loki's Revenge. Like, why did you not see it? Was it stuck? Like, I love it. Like, I still get excited playing that game and other stuff like that. But I'll always still want the new pretty stuff. Like, I freaking want, and I wish you guys played it, I want Axes and Allies and Zombies. It's not out yet. Yes, bro, that looks so amazing to me because it's Axes and Allies, and now they add a zombie faction. I mean, how awesome is that? I want to play that so badly. The only reason I'm hesitant on pre-ordering it is because, like, who am I going to play with? Like, I almost want to, like hit up Mark one day in his group, because there's people in his group that'll play war games. And be like, hey, bro, like, I want a war game day. Because, like, Axis and Allies is such a fantastic game. It really is a great game. But you guys you won't play it.
I mean, it has a lot of stuff where you can, like, buy specific units and things like that, right? And you get your resources.
Yes. And you get factories. Yeah. And you have certain money each round, and you can only buy stuff based off your round. And you already have set allies. It's not like all of a sudden Germany and America just become best friends. No, you can't change your allies. Your allies are your allies in the game. So it's the battle lines are set. You know who you're fighting against, and you work together. Like the last time I played with a group of people, we were leaving the table saying, all right, well, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to attack through Africa, and then you attack through Eastern Europe, and you go, and we'll pinch them in the middle right there, like in Spain or something like that. Like, all right, and I love that stuff.
That's awesome. I mean, I'd try it just because I haven't played that game.
Well, it's a historical war game, which I know, like, you're
when you add the and zombies, I don't think it's necessarily as.
Well, no, but I'm talking about, like, the other versions I have.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? I was even thinking about selling a couple of my copies of Risk. Is that bad?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's bad, but.
Well, like, there are a couple copies I won't ever sell, but, like, there's several of those I only bought because they were Risk. But it's the same game. Like, they didn't add new mechanics. It's just it's a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt dirty. I didn't do it. But
it's my collection.
I was like, I can't
keep it pristine. Well, how much are they actually, like, worth anything much, or?
No, probably worth like $7.
Yeah, bro. So it's like at a certain point, it's like it's worth more to me than it probably is to whoever I'm selling it to. So I might as well keep it at a certain point, you know.
Well, it's that, and it's also like, I do want to sell some of them because they just take up a lot of space.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Ken Parker, listen, you just had a baby, so I'm going to be nice to you, but Rising Sun is not better than Blood Rage. Sorry.
Okay. I feel like I wish Rising Sun would go another round. Is that weird?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it's missing. I can't put my finger on.
I feel like it would benefit from being just a little bit longer because I never feel like I quite get to do everything that I wanted to do.
Or when you finally get to set it up, it's too late.
Yeah. And it could just be that I'm a bad player and I can't do it in the time constraints that the game gives me. But
those things you get on the last round, you don't really get to do too much with them, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man, especially, and it's also the way that those little tiles come out. Because if you don't get any of those, like, buying the new stuff tiles, and you get screwed, or you're the very last guy, so all the stuff you wanted to buy is now gone anyway. Like, that's one thing that I don't like about the game. I mean, I like it because it's luck, but I don't like it because there are times where the game beats me and there's nothing I could do about it. It makes sense for everybody else to buy this thing, and I don't even get a chance to do anything, which is clearly putting me at a disadvantage. Like when you have those cards that say you get so many points for having so many colors, or you get so many points for having so many monsters, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, when everybody else has bought that, and there's only 2 of those cards out, and I'm number 5 on the track to buy, like, okay. See, that's what I like about Blood Rage, is I've won that game multiple strategies. I've won that game, and thank you to Courtney, who I love to death, but she was a douche for doing this. I went the complete hardcore Roy. I'm going to get massive points and ram you to death. Or I've done I'm just going to lose every battle and get points for getting my guys back from Valhalla. And I've won other ways where it was just
I've won it a bunch of different ways too.
I've won it one time doing match strategy, playing against other.
It's one of those games where like you have to notice what other people are drafting, but then draft what you think you can fit into and be able to get the correct cards to make happen. You know, it's like getting the best combos based on what other people are drafting. It's like, okay, this person's obviously taking the Loki stuff, so that's cut off to me. This person's taking that strategy, so that's cut off to me. What can I go with that'll get me the most points?
Yeah, but everybody's passing up on like all these little quests. Like, okay, I will own a gray state. Yes, I will make sure I have the most in gray or blue or yellow.
Who passes quests? Come on. No, I'm just kidding. Quests are good.
You guys remember that one time at the CMON Expo where I did like 5 quests in one round? Like, because you only draft 6 cards. In every round, I was able to draft a quest. I love
when everybody just like you have a like location locked down, and then everybody's like, well, obviously I'm not going to be able to get that, so they just pass you the quest card, and you're like, oh yeah, I take it. I mean, why would I not take it?
Yeah,
I got it already. I don't even have to. I played that one. We played one game at CMON where Matt wasn't in the game, but he came over. I'm like, Matt, what do I even do this round? Because my round's already done.
Yeah.
Because like Valhalla was gonna smash all my guys, so I had these quests where if my guys die, then also quests in that specific location. I'm just like, I just lay down these quests and then just die, and then I get like 1,000,000 points. I think I'm done here.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's fun. I like that game. I just wish there was. I want to see something new, but nobody wants to make it. So whatever.
Yeah.
Well, no,
cool to draft something new.
There's always new stuff. Or new for that game, you mean?
Yeah, I want to be able to play Blood Rage the same way we've always played Blood Rage, but have another combo that could come out or another monster that could come out that we didn't play with before.
Bro, what if they did like an island thing?
They could do so much.
A whole other stage.
They could do a bajillion things and it would sell millions of dollars because that game was really hot. So
right, like if they could somehow, I mean, even just a new card pack encapsulates that same feeling that we got when we were playing it. And we got to like, wow, these cards are crazy. And you take you're like, wow, these cards are crazy.
Yeah.
My biggest experience with drafting is like, because you know Ryan Ortiz has a Magic the Gathering cube where he just has tons of extremely powerful cards in there, but he'll change it up and like make it different. But we would just draft, and we wouldn't draft all the cards each time, but we just had massive amounts of cards that we weren't drafting. But just drafting that over and over and just building decks with different cards and all this different stuff. There's all these cool things you'd see. You'd see the same cards a bunch of different times you played. We just played it over and over and over again. And then he would take that cube and then go like switch this card out and put these cards in and change it up a little bit. And it's like, okay, now we have this cube, which has a couple of other cards, maybe some cards from the new set, maybe some other stuff. It was just fun to be able to play with all those different things, you know? So it would be cool to have something different to try to draft. So I don't know.
It would be cool.
Come on, Eric.
Yeah.
But Eric's said several times before that I think Blood Rage is like a perfect game and it doesn't necessarily need anything. I'm like, yes, it is perfect, but you could mix it up. You could make it crazy.
Blood Rage is perfect, but Blood Rage 2 will also be perfect. So let's get on that.
I don't even want a new edition. I'm fine with keeping the core mechanics the same.
Do the exact same thing, but with new stuff, completely.
Yeah.
Like if he literally,
there's still plenty in the folklore for them to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not for lack of material to pull from. Like you may want to keep your gods the same. Maybe just add 1 or 2 because like Thor and Odin and Loki are like your key 3.
I mean, make it where we can actually draft gods into the game, where we have these
all
gods
the
fighting the monsters instead of just standing around. Like, we could make crazy stuff happen. I'm just going to make my own custom modules. Forget this. Because I have time for that sort of thing.
Well, see, I did that. He Who Shall Not Be Named to myself, we did that for Risk Legacy.
Yeah.
We played it so much that we found this one guy online who created his own board, right? And you played up to 20 games, not 15. And it like divided up the continents into more spaces and for different points. And so then we made our own factions.
Oh,
And
nice.
because the factions come with different powers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work. My favorite part about doing that though was the people arguing with us about what the wording really meant when we wrote it. Like there was this one guy named Jordy. He was like, "No, man, this is what this card really means." And we're like, "No, it literally means what it says." Like I know because I wrote that, Jordy. I know that because he who shall not be named literally wrote that. Pick up 2 dice does not literally mean, pick up 2 handfuls of dice. Like come on. Anyway, we could do that, I think, for Blood Rage. Hey, if we make it good enough and post that thing online and put like a little code on it where people would have to pay for it, there's enough love.
Hey, that's a good way to get a cease and desist real quick.
Well, we won't call it Blood Rage. We would call it.
Here's some random cards that don't have anything to do with this other game.
You know what we call it? We call it Red Angry.
I'm just going over to Eric Lang's house and being like, "Hey, man, let's talk about this."
We'll play test with Tim.
And he'll be like, "Roy, stop! I've already got it done. You just gotta wait." I'm like, "Okay, I'll try to be patient."
I wonder if he really does.
I feel like he's gonna bring it all together eventually, somehow.
But he says he's not like doing anything. But I wonder how true that really is. Like I think I'm hoping that they're gonna do something.
Well, the other thing is, you can say you're not doing anything, especially back when Blood Rage came out, however many years ago that was. And it's
oh, look how popular it is. Yeah, maybe we should do more.
But it's not even the popularity, but it's like you see that, and then you see Rising Sun come out, and then objectively, from Cool Mini's perspective, like they should look at how the market of board games is evolving and see that you have all these new and different things, and then maybe come up with a way to capitalize on like that stuff. So like they could look at it like Century Spice Red, right, where it's like you can technically tie all of the games in together and play one big mega game. So it's like,
dude, if this trilogy was like Century, where it was its own game, but then also a combination.
Yeah, they'll just come out with like a 4th game, right? And then the 4th game is like a new faction, and it's just like, yeah, cool, you can play it like this, or you can add in all the factions from all the other games.
Literally just make factions that are just all cross-compatible. Like, honestly, if they just made everything cross-compatible, that'd be crazy. But do just make a world map, because, you have like this stuff's in like Japan, and this or / China, this stuff's over here in the Norwegian country, all the Vikings and Norse
Blood
stuff.
Rage was completely funded and ended its campaign March 2nd of 2015.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
a while back, man.
I guess technically 3 years isn't as long as I was thinking, but it definitely feels older now in board game terms, just because everybody's pumping stuff out at such an incredible rate these days.
Bro, there's over 1,200 games that come out a year. And that I don't even think that may just be Europe.
It's to the point where it's not about sifting through and finding which games are good and which games are bad. It's about you literally cannot play all of the good games because there are so many good games that come out. You cannot play all of the good games. There are some people that try and do pretty well, but it's hard to play all.
But that's all that they're doing.
Right. Literally, it's their job. They're trying to play all the games. Not to mention that there's tons and tons of chaff that is just like, okay, well, didn't quite work out. So, good.
Oh, man. I remember Blood Rage, bro, when you and I played at Gen Con, at our first Gen Con.
Oh, when we played together? Like the demo?
Yeah, we played the demo.
That was fun.
That was fun. Man, that was such a good time.
I think the guys we were playing with thought we were maybe a little bit too intense. But it's fine.
We had fun, though, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think I won that, too.
It was a demo.
There's only one round.
It was a demo.
I still won. Anyway.
Okay, sure.
All right, man.
Cool. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this thing up. Hey, if you're suffering from board game drought,
Play
stop
a game
it.
and end it.
Stop it. Get some help.
And play a game you love, new or old.
Yeah, for sure. You don't always have to play the newest, hottest stuff. Like, go back and research or go back and bring out a game that you really enjoyed, and maybe it'll rekindle all your flames.
Rhino Hero or Rhino Hero Super Battle.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm missing in my life. I haven't played Rhino Hero in a while. That's why I feel so down. Good times. Awesome, guys. Well, we stream these normally Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time at youtube.com/Epic Gaming Night. We want to say thank you so much to all of our amazing patrons on Patreon. You guys are great. Thank you for supporting the show. It's always a blast. We're still trying to get a hold of a copy of Root, and hopefully we can all play it together, and it'll be fun. I know Rob is super stoked for that. We got Rob's review. We'll just send it to you. It's fine. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to help support us, check out patreon.com/Epic Gaming Night. Also, make sure to check all of us out on Instagram. We have @Epic Gaming Night, and also @Shades of the Mind and @Writing.Newman.
Boom.
Follow all three. Also, make sure to check out our Epic Tales of Misplaced Meeples to check out all of our crazy D&D escapades. And it's been a lot of fun, guys. You guys are all great.
You guys are all great.
Cool. Well, thanks, chat, for joining us and having fun.
Yeah.
Peace.